Hi everyone, it's Mullum Kids Church Online and I'm super excited because do you know what today is? Today is the start of Advent. Now Advent is the time where we have 4 Sundays that lead up to Christmas. And do you know what? I love Christmas. It's my favourite time of year. And I love that we have these 4 Sundays called Advent. Do you know what Advent is? It's actually a time of getting ready for Christmas. Now, it's not just things like going to the shops and buying presents. It's actually helping us to prepare for the coming of Jesus, where Jesus came to the world to be a person who lives amongst us, which is awesome. So I've got some Christmassy items. They're helping my house get ready for Christmas. I've got a star to go on top of my Christmas tree. It's a very large star. It's actually almost too big for my Christmas tree, but I love it nonetheless. And I've got, what else have I got? I've got some lights. These are the small lights that go inside the house, and I've got some really big lights to go outside the house as well. And importantly, I've got my Christmas jumper. Good times. Although it's a little bit too warm today to wear a Christmas jumper. Just in general, I should probably get a Christmas t-shirt, but neither here nor there, I've got a Christmas jumper. So good times ahead. But do you know what? We're going to be doing something this Advent to help us get ready for the coming of Jesus. So hopefully you will have an Advent box. I dropped some of these around at your houses. But also, if you don't have one of these, there'll be an addition in the email. But also, you can follow along with me in our video. So, some of your boxes look nice and plain. Some of them are shoe boxes with interesting things on the outside. But as you open it up, there's lots of things inside. They have some instructions and a nativity picture to make, and then lots of random things. So I'm going to go through our first Advent box item today to help us see what to do. So you need to find the piece of paper that says "Welcome to Advent" in a box, and you can have a read of that at home with your family. But the first thing we do every week is light a candle, and you'll see inside your box you've got 5 little tea light candles. And so you might like to do that with your family, is to find one candle, and there's even a little texture in here, a Sharpie, that you might like to decorate. And today's candle is called the Candle of Hope. You might like to write hope on the side of your candle. And you might like to say the little prayer. So I'm going to start our session with a little prayer for the lighting of the candle of hope. We light this first Advent candle, the candle of hope. The candle reminds us to look for signs of God's presence all around us. So you might like to take a moment, you might even want to pause the video so that you can light this candle with your family. Now, as we go through our Advent box, there's a little activity to do with your family. It's called hands-on activity. And then there's a story. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to read the story, and then I'm going to explain the activity to do. So the story today is of the angel Gabriel and Zechariah. So let me read a story to you today. Zechariah the priest and Elizabeth his wife were faithful followers of God. They had been married for many years but did not have any children. While it was Zechariah's turn to serve God in the temple, an angel appeared to him. Zechariah was very afraid. In Luke 1, verses 13 to 17, it tells us what happens next. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah. Your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will have a child. It will be a boy. You must name him John. He will be a joy and delight to you. He will bring many of Israel's people back to the Lord their God, and he will prepare a way for the Lord." Zechariah wondered, how could this possibly happen? because he and his wife were quite old. The angel said to Zechariah, "I am Gabriel. I serve God. I have been sent to speak to you and to tell you this good news. And now you will be silent because you will not be able to speak until after John is born." Everything happened just as the angel said. Elizabeth became pregnant and Zechariah could not speak the entire time until they waited until the baby arrived. I wonder, what do you think Zechariah felt while he was unable to speak? What do you think Elizabeth was feeling? How would you feel if your ability to speak was taken away? How would you communicate? And I wonder, how have you communicated this year as we haven't been able to meet our family and friends? Have you come up with new ways to talk to your family and friends this year? I sort of have, but it's been a lot on the phone. And it's a bit harder to talk on the phone if you can't actually talk with your words. Well, God used his special messenger Gabriel to give his special message, didn't he, in that story? That was a different way to communicate with someone. Well, what we're going to do is, at some point today, you can have a look on your nativity picture and find the angel and colour it in. But there's a special activity to do. You can find the hands-on activity. It looks like that. And on it, it tells you that you need 3 colour food dyes. Now, this is one item that hopefully you have at home. So I have some 3 food dyes. They look like this. And hopefully you have some of these at home. If not, they just are at the supermarket. And in your box, you'll have a little eyedropper. It looks like this, and it's really good for picking up little bits of water. So what you need is 3 glasses of water, each with a different colour food dye. So you might make 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red, or you could use a yellow one as well. And you've got to follow the instructions, because you'll need 1 extra glass that just has plain water. Don't use any food dye in that one, because each time you've got to pick up a drop of different coloured water and put it into the clear glass and see what happens at the end. The instructions say this: "Let us act as we should. Don't fight with each other. Don't be jealous of anyone." Paul wrote these words many years ago, but they contain wisdom that will help us today as we begin our Advent journey. It's so easy during the season to get jealous of each other and caught up in all the things that we want, particularly when we're looking at Christmas presents, isn't it? So, once you've got all your cups of water with the 3 different colours and then 1 plain one, what you can do is have each family member answer the question, what am I wanting that someone else has? And if you can think about something, take a drop of the coloured water and put it into the plain water. And each time, put a different colour in and see what colour the plain water becomes. Does it become a nice colour, or does it become a bit of a gross, yucky colour? You see what happens at the end. Because the book of Proverbs tells us that a peaceful heart gives life to the body, but jealousy rots the bones. So we're encouraged this Christmas time to think about things that bring us peace and joy and hope and life, rather than being jealous of things like presents. So maybe you can pray with me as we finish up. Dear God, help me not to be jealous of anyone. Teach me more about Jesus and to look out for the good of others like Jesus did. Amen. Because as we saw in the book of in the story of Zechariah, that he was really faithful to God, even when it took a really long time for his prayer to be answered, to have a child with his wife, Elizabeth. And they were really joyful and really excited when that happened. So, what a great end to a story. But I hope you have fun doing your activities today. And even if you don't have a box, you can still get some different coloured food dye and get a little eyedropper and have a go at putting the different coloured water in there. And you can read the story of Zechariah and Gabriel in Luke chapter 1. Awesome. Well, I hope you have fun getting ready for Christmas, and we're going to be having a look at different stories in the story of the first coming of Jesus each week in Advent. We'll see you soon, everyone. Bye.